That's a wrap on season 3. Can you believe it? Time flies when you're having fun, and I am having a blast. I even got a chance in season 3 to be interviewed on my own podcast.
This is actually our third podcast that we've done.
It is.
It's becoming a regular thing. I love actually sitting down and talking to you, Sarah, because you're such an amazing person.
Let's talk about purpose. The Oxford Dictionary definition of purpose is the reason for which something is created or for which something exists. I'm always so inspired by the stories of our guests, and I hope that you've been able to take away something that's resonated with you and perhaps even given you some inspiration or motivation to pursue your own purpose. Let's reflect on what some of my guests have said when I ask them what their purpose is.
My purpose is to make a positive impact. So I'm pretty good at being a cheerleader for people.
Yes.
But also helping them to wade through the crap. So I often ask clients, friends, it doesn't really matter. If you could remove the what ifs, if you could remove the scary bits, the fear, all the things that are stopping you, what would that look like? And I don't know, I guess I'm good at seeing things for other people and empowering them to get there. So to definitely make a positive impact so that people can achieve the things they thought they couldn't achieve. And I guess ultimately I really want to have that positive impact on a wider scope. So, with our community, I do a lot of work with small businesses in the community, and I really want that to influence the future generations as well. So positive impact is, I know it's very wide, but for me...
Well, you're an accountant, so how do you measure that? Have you got a scale?
No, that's a good question, because I felt like that lately how am I actually creating
something
a positive
to develop
impact.
And roll out to clients as well.
Yeah, I guess the only thing that I've been doing, because I actually asked myself that question not long ago, I don't feel like I'm making enough impact, is if I can just make sure that every time I have a conversation with somebody that they take something from it, that they take value from it. That's the only way I've been able to measure it so far.
To help business people do it better, I suppose. Well, that's where the name of my business came from, Best Business Results. So what's the best thing for them? It doesn't have to be
to get them where they want to go.
Yeah, work it out first.
Yep.
They don't have to be doing exactly what their competitors are doing. You do what's right for you, because like with accounting firms, there's a lot of legacy within businesses, people, structures, systems. It's really hard to unravel.
Yeah, I've got it written down in my journal. I should really just pull that up and read straight from the page.
Do it.
But should I? Let me flick it. It's right in front of me. Look, it's to positively impact people so that they can achieve their definition of success, whatever that is to them, so that they can then in turn go and positively impact those around them.
That's the ripple.
Yeah. So my life is now based on this ripple, and it just makes what I do, or my pitch, I don't need to pitch, but my pitch so much easier, because
it's internalized.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
I kind of live and breathe it. And now it makes life easy, because I get to talk to my kids when they do pay attention, listen to that sort of stuff, and about what our family values are, what we're all about. And, just even implementing things such as little outreach stuff at Christmas, or you talk about overseas holidays. I've never taken my wife or kids to the Philippines, and I think I can't wait to get them to some of the places that are in need, very different to Australia, because as Aussies, we tend to just go to places in Asia, particularly, that are, not the truth, and, they're not the slums, they're the resorts, and they're the fun bits. You see people that go to where are you going? Philippines? Where? Palawan, Boracay? No, like everyone's going there. They fly into Manila, they fly out to one of the islands, and they don't really see anything.
Yeah, one of the things that really transitioned my thinking about making an impact in the world as well was we were flying as a family back from Queensland. We went to Bundaberg to see the giant turtles lay their eggs one January.
Oh, wow.
And we were flying back and we were on a plane and, they say they're doing the collection for children. And Alex, who was 5 at the time, said, "Are they collecting money for me?" And I said, "Oh, no, they're collecting money for children who don't have books in their homes or access to fresh water." And he said, "But why would children not have that?" And it was at that point I was like, I've got to show these kids what the world is like. And so that I took them to 4 different Asian countries that year. The first one I was speaking in Fiji, and I remember we got off the plane, we're in the bus transitioning to a resort, sure, yes. But Alex said, "Why is everything broken here? Like, why are there houses that don't have roofs?" And it was that January that was at Easter, and I was like, this is why I'm bringing you here. So you can see that you are one of the luckiest children in the world, and start you thinking about how you can help other people in the world, that not everyone's as lucky as us.
No, we're really fortunate. Like, I'm getting a little bit emotional because I kind of think about it all the time. So my parents are from Iraq, right? So, we know the state of that nation right now, and I'm really lucky to be born in this country. My parents basically walked out when it was great, and we're, I guess, what you consider now a Christian minority or Christian Iraqis, which pretty much don't exist anymore because of what's going on over there. But, what if they hadn't left? What if I was born there? Would I still be alive, Because there was 2 wars in my life. I was born in the early 80s, so 81. So it was a lot going on, and we get it because I'm, I guess, firstborn in the family in Australia. Like, my siblings are born here too. My parents came out in the 70s and 60s, but our kids will never get it unless. So our parents didn't have to teach us anything about that. We just kind of felt it around us.
By osmosis.
And, had refugee relatives come across after, in the late 90s and stuff like that, after that war. And that we kind of, we understood. But, why do people have to flee their country and start with nothing after they had degrees and everything else and all that sort of thing? But our kids have got no idea. Like, all they care is about, wearing pairs of Jordans and, go to basketball, ballet, and whatever it is, and gymnastics. And, hey, Dad, like, when are we going on another holiday? It's just crazy. But it's this whole thing of gratitude, appreciation of what we've got right now, and using that to our advantage, kind of using it positively somehow. And we've got so much, to be grateful for, because we have so much power. And if we waste it, it's shameful. It's really bad. So I think there's a lot of pressure on myself, I believe, as a parent, because now I need to make sure that I use this time. And I admire you. Like, what you just said is so good. I just feel a bit deficient now because I haven't done that with my kids, but I can't wait to do it.
They have to be the right age, I think, as well.
They do. Yeah. So my youngest is Ella. She's 4. So, but she'll get it. I just want her to really get it. And I think, it was even like going through Italy and seeing some, you get a lot of homeless, a lot of beggars in the street, especially if they're all outside the churches. I believe they all drive really nice cars, and it's just a little tactic. But no, all jokes aside, the kids didn't get it. Because I guess, we're not always walking through the streets here in Melbourne and seeing some of the people that are less fortunate. But they're like, why is that person asking for money? Why are they coming up to me? Why are they doing this? Like in the Philippines, I mean, there's kids that are just walking the streets. Even in Italy, there's certain parts, kids in the middle of the street at the traffic lights begging, no shoes, or you'll see a mother carrying a newborn, just head down, won't even look at you, just with the hand out. And we've got a job to do as parents to kind of get our kids, the next generation, to understand that the world's a bit busted in certain parts. And we might not be able to fix it right now, but we can do a little bit. We can do a little bit, and we can help others to also do a little bit, or, guide them, or give them, or, allow them to live out their purpose, whatever that might be.
Yes.
And hopefully, in my role I guess I consider myself as an advisor, as a growth accountant, because I love working with growing businesses, is to get them to get their business to a point where they've got the clarity over their business, control over it, and then the confidence to be able to do stuff like that.
I was thinking about that. I think my purpose, particularly for my clients, is to be there, obviously, in the good times, but in the tough times too, and being straightforward and honest with them about what they need to do, And also when the market's not performing, being realistic about their expectations as well. I think a huge lesson for me was through the global financial crisis when things weren't great. And you have clients in and their share portfolios aren't doing very well. Well, that's to be expected. And it was interesting because I was stressed about it. But I think what we do is we educate our clients. And so a lot of them were very good. Okay, we know the performance is down. And I would say to them, you're still generating the income. We need to forget the noise. We've set you in a certain asset allocation risk profile, and we've set you there for the longer term. This is a little bit of a blip. We need to keep going forward. And we came out of it.
And it's also a good time to buy, right? Things are on sale.
Exactly.
Buy.
Exactly.
We buy everything else when it's on sale.
Yep. And that's why it's hard now, because the market is doing really well and it's great, but I'm not buying at the moment either. Well, buying a little bit, but not
holding,
a lot. Yeah. So, it's that. It's being there in the good times and the not so good times, and having someone that they can go to and their family can go to for their financial needs.
I think that changes depending on where you are in life. When I went to Institute of Technology, it was in my day, I wanted to be a really good accountant. And then when I came out and I became partner of the firm, I wanted the firm to be the best there is. And I still want that these days, but that was the purpose, that was the hard work. And then children came along, and that completely changes you. And so during my age, I have 3 kids. While they were at home, my aim was to give them the best education possible. And for me, having gone to private school, that meant sending them to private school. So I worked hard to ensure that they would get the best education. Unfortunately, 2 became lawyers, so you can't win them all. But
that's true. Sorry to hear that.
And Matt's in advertising. My God, it was always interesting around the table. Anyway, so but I wanted to achieve that. That was the aim, to get them educated, because that was, even my father who came out from Italy, his aim was education. So that's why he sent us to college, because he believed, he went to CBC, so he believed that college was the best education. So so that was the aim during that period. Now, I don't know. It's funny. It's the next stage of my life, and I am trying in some ways to work out what the purpose actually is, because it's a whole different world now. I've got 2 grandkids, lovely kids, and enjoy their company heaps, and I still enjoy getting together with the family. But it's funny, you have to recalibrate and redesign, and I'm not quite sure. I'll come back to you. The next one, I'll let you know when I have an update on what the purpose is. I mean, I still want to be a very good accountant. I want to be a great advisor, and I want to be a help to people, etc. But I have to work out a purpose. Yeah, it's coming, but I just haven't quite refined it yet at this stage.
My purpose, I think, is to lift others up. And I've only, really come to realise this a few years ago. My greatest joy is actually seeing other people succeed, whether that be my children, whether that be my family, my clients, my team. And when as a manager, I've gone through lots of different varying forms of management and lots of stories along the way, I can tell you. But my niche in management is actually about building people up.
Yes.
Playing to their strengths.
Right.
Making them feel like
they can
do anything. And what you see from that and how they blossom is like even talking about it actually brings me waves of joy.
Oh.
Right? That's how I know that that's my purpose, because when I look at every single thing in my life and what brings me joy, it's that.
Well, I don't think there's anything more important than family. And I know behind every small business is a family. And it's often, you see devastation when they fail, and kids miss out on opportunities in life, right? So I'm on a mission to create a prosperous future for families through their businesses. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Professionally, I guess with regards to the business, mine is very much about just being there to help and support our clients. I really love the idea that Murray Business Solutions as a firm gives me an avenue personally to say, well, whatever skill set you've got and everyone's got one that's different is fine, but being able to really earmark that into your clients and help them with their business and help them either understand their financials or make their financials happen because it's an area that's a real problem for them or creates a bit of anxiety or just a nuisance and something they have to tick the box with. Or for others, it's really about getting to the nuts and bolts and saying, how can we make it better? How can we make this more efficient? I really love that. But I love the fact that the firm itself gives our team an avenue to also deploy that for the clients that they look after. And then MBS itself is a real forum for them to come and be hopefully working in an environment where they feel valued and they feel like they're safe and they can deploy the skills and have a good engagement with clients. So I'm, professionally, I'm very, very focused on that. I feel really passionate about it. I can't see myself wanting to do anything else ever. I guess as a outside of professionally, personally, the family is really, really fun. I actually just love, our family unit and our kids. Obviously, everybody says that, but they really are mad as little hatters, but they're great fun. So the weekends when you see what outfit the 6-year-old's going to come up with today, how many spots, stripes and colours can we get into one arrangement? And middle child's currently got very few teeth, so he looks a bit special. He's got
He looks like Bugs Bunny. So he's lost these two.
He's got about 4 missing altogether, so I feel like we might have a few dental bills in our future. But no, that's probably where I'm focused for sure.
No, purpose. I think of, I guess there's multiple elements to it. There's my broader life goal. My purpose is to make sure that my family are well provided for, that we're educating our children, not just in the traditional maths and sciences, but how to be emotionally intelligent. And if I can help my kids grow up with some realistic expectations, not to be entitled, that is a core underlying focus. Because if we can generate a good human being, they can generate a lot of good in the world. And I think through us working well together and the two businesses we have, having them watch and observe and learn and let us share how we run our lives and how we try and make it all work, but also letting them know when we fail and how we're failing and what we're trying to do to address it, that we're not perfect, that it's always a battle to learn. For me, that's a core underlying part of my whole purpose, I think. I happen to love helping people with things around accounting and systems and processes and templating and how can we do things better. Often when I talk to accountants about Account Kit, it's often not about Account Kit, it's often just about their practice and sharing ideas and issues around our own struggles and being very transparent about, you hear a lot of noise, don't listen to it. It's hard work. This is hard work and it's perfectly okay to struggle and fight with it. And so I think they feel refreshed that don't just have another sales guy selling at them. We're here to talk about
being in the trenches together.
Yeah, exactly. And we're happy to talk about it and be really transparent. I really like doing that, even if it's got nothing to do with Account Kit. So I think that's a core part. If I can help the accounting industry prosper and do well, because if we can recover time, the way we spend our time, so we can redirect it to help clients or spend more time with our families, and then I think that's an amazing outcome for the industry. I think we can help facilitate that and drive that.
My purpose is to be absolutely the best woman I can be, to bring everything I see within me to life outside of me, and that for me is all about. It's not about me, it's about who I'm here to serve. It's about how I can be of service, and for me, my purpose at the minute is to get in front of and help and support as many women around the world as possible. Because, seeing the results and transformations that I've been able to support women to create, they come from all walks of life, all backgrounds, and that is available to anybody that's open and willing for it. So, for me, my purpose is just to reach and support. I wholeheartedly believe that financially empowered women will save the world, beginning with their own. And so for me, helping them to save their own world so that they can then go on and have that beautiful ripple effect in their families and their clients and their community and throughout the world. Yeah, it gives me goosebumps.
The reason this podcast exists is to shine a light on these wonderful individuals within the accounting industry who want to make the world a better place for us, our children, and future generations to come. An accountant, by definition, is a person whose job is to keep or check financial accounts. But they do so much more than that. My guests on this show care about the well-being of individuals, families, small businesses, and their communities. They give back on a daily basis, and that is their purpose. Thanks for tuning in this season. Don't go away, because we'll be back in a hot minute with season 4, and it's all about girl power. Like, subscribe, and tell your friends about Accountants on Purpose.